So I'm here with Dev Basu in 2012. We did this video in 2009 talking about the things to increase your search engine ranking, and now of course with social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. We're not talking just about search engine optimization, but optimization with all the other media structures, which leads to the term SMO. So welcome, thanks very much for coming back to share some.
Thanks for having me.
Dev was a TA at my U of T course on e-commerce in fourth year a couple of years ago, and he's branched off his own company. He's actually quite famous now. I'm hearing you in the news. You're in the Toronto Star, CTV, newspaper, media, radio, etc. Very impressive.
It's been a
Just
fortunate
before we
couple of
begin,
years.
just tell me some of the things you've done recently, some of the conferences and seminars you presented at and those kinds of things.
Well, next week I'm off to the Canadian Event Planning Association, Speakers Association, basically, teaching event planners how to leverage social media and SEO to run better events. A couple of other things that were cool is we just got covered in a paper called the Toronto Standard, which is one of Toronto's oldest papers.
And you did real estate?
Yeah.
As a sector, yeah?
Yeah, we've done a fair number of sectors, and ranging from medical, real estate, to hotels and hospitality, contractor services, and so on. So it's been a fortunate couple of years.
Great. Okay, so today we're talking about some of the things that are more contemporary for 2012 and trying to optimize your website. So it's not just some of the on-page things, but it's also social media. What are some of the things for 2012 companies should be considering?
So the big thing, I think, is claiming your brand presence on major social media networks. So having a Facebook fan page is imperative. Google just released Google Plus a couple of months ago. They released Google Plus brand pages, so you can go in now and basically claim your brand on Google Plus. They also have a standard where they're basically pulling in Google Plus results into Google Universal Search, and they're calling it Google Plus Your World. So for large brands like Coke or Pepsi, for example, you're actually going to start seeing more personalized results when you search things like soda or Diet Pepsi, for example, or just pop, for example. Right. So you're going to see a lot more personalization in the search results.
One of the things we talked about in 2009, and it's also more important in 2012, is a local search. If you're a carpet cleaner in Toronto, you don't need to rank #1 worldwide for carpet cleaning because you don't care if someone calls you from Ireland. So what are some of the things companies can do to optimize themselves in the local context, keeping in mind that now greater than 55 or 65% of access to the web is based on smartphone devices and local local context?
The statistics are very compelling. You have about 50 billion odd searches on Google every month in the U.S. About 40% of those have some level of local intent to them, which is huge. So being able to show up properly in your local areas or the areas that you service, if you happen to be a carpet cleaner, is super important. There's a couple of ways you can go about doing that, and the first of which is go ahead and claim your local business listing on each one of the major search engines. So on Google, that's called Google Places. It's a free listing that you can go ahead and claim or submit, for example. You fill it in with your name, address, phone number, your category of business, attach a description, and then there's a couple of things that you can go ahead and do to optimize your listings so that they show up better. Bing and Yahoo also have sort of their counterparts, Bing Business Portal and Yahoo Local listings as well. So that would be the first thing that you can do. The other thing is that Google buys a lot of data from businesses like Yellow Pages Group, for example. So having a listing in Yellow Pages Group and its associated directories can be important as well, because that's the sort of origin of all business information, at least in Canada. In the States, it's a little bit different. There's 3 different providers there: Axiom, Localese, and InfoUSA. So Google buys this data, and then that ultimately filters down to your cell phone as well, because your cell phone can obviously geolocate to where you are.
Right.